Gout Gout is back on the track again, and if you know anything about this situation, whenever he runs, regardless of who he is competing against, the entire world pays attention. This time it was in Monaco, where he wasn't running in the Diamond League 200 meter section. I've already shared my thoughts on that, no need to go back on it now. Instead, he was running in an under 23 section where, yes, he got the victory. He ran 20.10 seconds, this time into a negative 1.9 headwind. That can't be understated, but hey, it is what it is. And he did get the victory. But it was still a competitive field, because if you look down the leaderboard, you'll notice that there's another 17-year-old from South Africa who is just 0.3 of a second behind him. All that being said, Gout Gout did what he was supposed to. He was the headliner, and he didn't disappoint. He comes off the turn. It's competitive between him and the field, but if you are off the turn and you and Gout Gout are basically tied, like pretty equal, unless you are one of the top sprinters on the world stage, this race is over. Gout Gout is going to walk you down, because his speed endurance, at least from what I can tell at this stage, is in a better place than almost anybody who we have in the world. Not everyone, but almost anyone. So, now that this race is over, and yes, I will be paying attention to the men's 200 in the Diamond League section, because Noah Lyles and Sireece The Boy will be there. But until that moment, the Gout Gout situation is still evolving. So what just happened? 20.10 seconds, the time, let's put it on the board. It's not a PR, but it's getting pretty close to Gout Gout's wind legal PR. He has yet to break 20 legal, but he has done it multiple times now, wind assisted. Again, interpret that how you want to. But when you say 20.10, the first thing my brain thought was, who else runs that fast? Or like, where did that fit on the board? So, call me crazy, I actually decided I'm just going to Google Noah Lyles' name. Because hey, I got access to it. And I looked up every race he has run from 2018 all the way up until now in the 200 meter dash. When you say 20.10 seconds, that is a time that he has only run 2 times. I mean, yes, he's run it other times when you're talking about a preliminary round at like Worlds or USAs or something like that. But I don't count prelims when he makes it to the final. The final time's all that matters there. So if you count all the other like one-off meets, he's never run slower than 20.10 except for 2 times from 2018 all the way up till now. That lets us know that winning against this field is exactly that. It's winning against that field. Which brings us back to the big conversation, because with the Diamond League in Monaco, everybody really wanted to see what Gout Gout was going to look like competing against, well yeah, the world's best. You have the reigning Olympic gold medalist and the reigning world champion both showing up to the track to run that event. And they're going to do it like an hour and a half, 2 hours later. It is what it is. Like, I understand that Gout Gout has a plan, and him and his team are preparing. But he's going to show up to the Worlds anyway, where he's going to be running with those men. You might as well get started early. Now that Gout Gout is in this field, I mean, he is outclassing the, under 20, under 23, under 18 for the most part. But my brain still also has to look at it another way. But if you're new here, I want to say thank you for even making it this far into the video. And I'm Coach Rob, and if you really want to know what's going on with the fastest athletes in the world, then you are in the right place. And if anything that I say actually connects with you, it is always greatly appreciated if you would please like and subscribe. But if I don't, just let me know in the comment section, because I try to read them all. Let's go all the way back to, like, again, what is the Gout Gout situation, like, from the beginning of it till now? More or less. You can track it to, some fast times before World Juniors in 2024, him showing up and losing it in the 200, the event that he actually ran. He got second. And then faster times that showed up later in the year, like we're talking December into January 2025. And those faster times started breaking records. Because once you say the name Usain Bolt and record, even if we're talking about under 18 or under 20, then yes, the entire sprinting world takes notice. From that moment up until now, whatever Gout Gout does is a phenomenon. It don't matter where he's running. He'd be running at the Stawell Gift Games, which isn't even like a legitimate track and field race. Like the distances, it's a handicap, all of that. But people care. I know people care because, well, I see the evidence online. People want to know what Gout Gout is going to do. And with all of that attention, again, it can go one of two ways. One, and it seems like the one that him and his group and who's working with him is choosing, is to try to prepare him slowly and like to bring him along on his own pace, because you've got, the cross-cultural situation between Australia's training system, their calendar, the way their meets are, and then what's happening on the world stage. But at the end of the day, the reason why people are paying attention is because we know that Gout Gout has the talent to show up on the world stage right now. I personally don't care whether he wins or not when he goes to the world stage at this age. Simply showing up at 17 is a big deal. 16, 17, 18, in that window, your first time to the show, most people don't win. Certainly not at those ages. I'll start giving other names. Like, we can go across the ledger. It doesn't have to just be short sprinting. When Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone first showed up to the Olympic Games, she wasn't in the final. But that was at 16 years old. By the time she came back again, she's winning the whole thing. You see what I'm saying? Like, it does take time, and it's okay if you don't win immediately. The thing is, we are now getting so used to seeing Gout Gout in the front of the race. Like, that's what's happening. And he's a professional athlete, like, signed a pro contract, because apparently that's what it means in track. Does somebody sponsor you to wear athletic gear? In this case, Adidas. So he has that, but after that moment, like, aside from the sponsorship, and aside from him running in, maybe 2 Continental Tour races against what we would call a professional field, he's more or less still running with youth, under 20, under 23, or, all these unique fields that are still his peers. And we know he's better than his peers. That's where the Gout Gout phenomenon started. We saw footage of him way out in front. There were moments when Gout Gout was running in races, and because I'm the guy who does high school national recruit rankings here in America, this is what it was. If you're ranking recruits who might go to college, Gout Gout is clearly a 5-star. Like, on a 5-star scale, he's the highest of 5 stars. And there were times when he was in a championship race in Australia, like an under-18 championship or what have you. Like the all-school championship in Queensland. Like, the rest of the field? Nobody in those fields was better than a 2-star recruit. Like, a 5-star and a 2-star. That means when he was running 20 point anything, he didn't have to. Just being real. He wasn't just beating them. He wasn't even just dominating. At that point, he was just pouring salt in the wound because he could. You don't need to run 20.3, 20.5, 20.1, 20.2. You don't need to do any of that when you're running with people who don't break 22. And that's what Gout Gout was doing. Just saying, like, that's what optically we were seeing. And obviously it's awe-inspiring. But that's not going to happen on the world stage. And the under 23 race he just ran, it may not be the world stage, but it does give you, kind of like a benchmark that there's other people around his age who can run fast. That is important, because if Gout Gout's going to be everything people hope he will, he's going to have to win. He's going to have to win a lot. And right now, there's a 17-year-old somewhere in the world. I know there's a few of them in America, but I'm pretty sure they're somewhere else. And even though we're not saying their names, they are taking notes. Gout Gout will have a target on his back. So with all of his talent, he's going to have to outrun not just the big men on the world stage right now, but the ones who are coming for him in the future. Again, his peers are coming for him, and they will continue to improve. Gout Gout as a phenom is already closer to his ceiling. Like, that's what it takes to run fast. The world record is still the world record. Let's just clarify. So just because you run 19.9 or 20.0 now, doesn't mean you're going to go 19.1 in the future. You might. It's just no one in the world has done it yet except Usain Bolt. Yes, he's the only one. So, to me, showing up to the Worlds this year is the biggest moment for Gout Gout. He don't have to win. He might not even make a final. But the experience that he gets, especially if he mixes it up in the semifinal, he can take that and move it forward in his training and really, in his outlook, to know that, okay, now that I've been here, I know what it's going to take, then I can start preparing to give it. Because he's going to have to give it over and over and over again. But for now, we just witnessed another Gout Gout sighting, and it went about the way we expected it to go. I just wish that we would have gotten to see it with the fastest men in the world on the track at the very same time. But nobody asked me. In the sport of track and field, confidence is everything, because when you win, That is just the moment when everybody else finds out what you already knew to be true, that fast is a lifestyle. Get your Fast is a Lifestyle track and field gear at scarecruiting.com/shop or use the link in the description below. It's a huge support to me and this channel, so I can continue to make you more content like this. And remember, it is always greatly appreciated if you would please like and subscribe.